Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Dokkan event for the Tech LR Zamasu. So for obviously those who have got Zamasu from the event, from the summons, obviously now you need to awaken or farm his Dokkan Awakening medals. So you can not only farm his medals from this event, but you can also farm the Dokkan Awakening medals for the physical Zamasu as well. Now, Zamasu looks very interesting. I think compared to Vegito, I definitely think Vegito is maybe an easier unit to incorporate. He's a bit of a simpler unit to manifest into teams. His teams are also probably a bit more synergized just due to the fact that there's a lot of super characters on all of them. And Super in general is a bit more of a synergized team. But with that being said as well, I do think that Zamasu is definitely a very interesting unit. And there's a lot about him that can be very exciting. So for me, it's definitely a question of what your box looks like. And just how the units look in general. But yeah, I think you can definitely still eke out quite a interesting team from Zamasu. I think it's going to be very interesting. Now before we talk about Zamasu, let's just talk about the Dokkan Festival event. There is actually a gimmick to this event. So for a long time and a while, this event has a gimmick, and that gimmick is the Infinite Zamasu stage. Basically, once you get to the Infinite Zamasu stage, you have to just basically beat Zamasu by wearing him down. You can't actually defeat him, he doesn't take any damage. You just simply go through 3 turns against him, and then yeah, by the end of them you are done. You can then basically call it and you're done against Zamasu. So it's a bit weird. It just kind of makes the event artificially long, but I mean, I guess they felt that they just wanted to try and recreate the feeling of having that Zamasu in the sky. So yeah, you'll see when we get to the final phase. But there's 3 or 9 charge counts, and then basically after those 9 charge counts expire, then Zamasu will be defeated and you'll automatically complete the stage. Now in terms of Zamasu himself, I do think there's some very, very good aspects to Zamasu as a unit that I think I do appreciate a lot, and I'm interested to see how they come out. So for example, his leader skill, probably not the most interesting, but having an extreme class lead, even if it is just 150%, is a big boon for extreme class units. To be able to operate under some kind of higher lead is definitely helpful to them. Then he also has that massively raising attack on his 18 key, which is interesting. And he has that 50% crit baked into his passive, which for me is very, very good. He starts off very strong defensively. He's got like 80% damage reduction first turn, then 60%, and then down to 40%. But his cap is a little bit higher than the Golden Freezer, so I want to see how that manifests as well. He also has multiplicative defense, with his defense, being on a hit and also at health thresholds. So his defense stack could get a little bit crazy. So it's definitely something to watch, and I think he could be a unit that's very interesting in the long run. He also, the domain ability, it remains to be seen, but the domain ability could be really strong. To have a unit that can't take damage is really good. Not just tanks well, but can't take damage, essentially a individual giant form, is really good. Plus he does provide some decent support to the rest of the rotation, which I think you have to factor in a little bit. You have to evaluate as well in its own right. So yeah, definitely huge. I think massive, absolutely massive, interesting changes to the unit. I think it's going to be interesting to see where Zamasu ends up lying. And then of course we have the physical Zamasu. Now physical Zamasu is also a pretty interesting unit, I would say. He has some things going for him. He can be really strong against superclass enemies. The issue with that always feels like there's not a lot of events that allow them to manifest that ability. There's not a ton of red zones or really super duper duper hard events against superclass enemies. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe they'll bring one out in the Red Zone Dismal Future. But yeah, it is going to be interesting. He does feel like he can be, against a superclass enemy, really strong. So he does have a lot of interesting utility and mechanics about him. So I'd love to see how he does as well. But yeah, once you get to this Infinite Zamasu phase, you'll notice I'm doing no damage to him. But you'll also notice that he has these charges. Once the charges wear out, he will just expire and the stage will complete. So you basically just have to be able to outlast his damage, I guess, which, it doesn't feel too bad. It's not like it's a mega hard event. Maybe for newer players it could be a struggle, so maybe just bring some healing items if you are concerned. But yeah, it doesn't feel, it doesn't feel too bad. It doesn't feel too difficult to survive. Of course, it depends, but I think for the most part you should be good to go. And yeah, that's basically it. You can see here, finish the event, pretty straightforward. So that's it for me. That's the Dokkan event covered. And yeah, we'll definitely be reviewing the units depending on my summons and how they go. But let me know how your summons went, and let me know if you need any more help or tips or tricks, for the Dokkan events. Obviously, it just depends. But yeah, would love to hear what you guys have to say, and would love to obviously help you out if you're still struggling. But that's pretty much going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I will definitely see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and yeah, bye.